Welcome to Super Hoopers, inconsequential discussion of the week's NBA news. I'm your host, Matt Hill. With me, as always, John Hill, Dave Feudernick. How are you guys?
Wow.
Go Knicks! Go Knicks, baby!
Dave looks strong. Dave just flexed for us. He looks really strong.
Yeah, you looking, yeah. Wow.
Man.
You're all Knicks out. Knicks hat, Knicks shirt.
Oh, no. Wash tab, baby. This is super
Knicks colors. Knicks colors.
Knicks colors. Knicks colors. Yes.
That's right. You can get those wash hats and Knicks collars. Actually, I don't even know. I haven't kept up with the website. I don't think the links are working. So
it was probably shut down a long time ago.
Yeah. 200th episode. Congratulations. Whoa. Congratulations. Dave, you've probably been on at least 100 of the episodes, I'd say. So
what? At least? What are you talking about?
I mean, you think you've been on more than 100 episodes?
Yeah. Oh, I guess there was that time period where I was we were alternating episodes that I was on, and then it would be me on, and then some shitty guest, and then me on, and then some shitty guest.
Well, I mean, to pull back the curtain,
so just back-to-back shitty guests every week. Is that what you're saying?
Back in the day when we first started, it was just me and John, and we would have occasional shitty guests, and you who were good, and from the beginning, we knew we were just I was like, oh man, it's so much better when Dave's on. But we didn't know how to ask you to formulate. We didn't know, how to propose to you. And then it just sort of happened naturally, which I guess is the best way for it to happen.
I think it was more of a common law marriage. It's just that he was just on That's a true. Lot. And he had the one place that would let us record at his house.
That's true.
And it was kind of by my work, kind of by your house. So it just
started sleeping at Matt's office.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Back when those are the good old days when we used to record in my office. I didn't have to drive anywhere.
Wow, it's true.
I mean, now no one drives anywhere. Now it's I forgot how to drive last time I drove. So, but yeah. Well, 200. I guess we'll talk a little bit about it later. We should probably start with the Last Dance. Do you guys? Well, where do you want to start? What do you think is the more important television product? The Last Dance or Game of Zones? Because Game of Zones dropped last week. First episode. So I don't know.
Is that television?
Yeah, I mean,
is it though?
I mean,
is it? Though? Is this radio?
I think. I think we live in a post-television world. I think when a piece of content gets over 4 million views, I think it's kind of in when it gets higher ratings than most television shows. I don't does it matter?
I don't know. Would you say Bad Baby is a recording artist because her videos get 500 million views?
I don't even. What is Bad Baby? What is that?
It's the Catch Me Outside girl. Remember her?
Okay, no. Damn,
Dean probably knows her. Dean probably knows who she is.
Who knows?
The kids love her.
Dean goes into my in-laws' room and watches about an hour of YouTube where just the algorithm determines what he watches. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Just Bon Appetit. Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit. I was gonna go with radical
Guy Fieri.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's just a whole scene in there. It's a whole scene.
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm stuffing this big plate of pulled pork in my fat mouth.
My 800-pound life.
I
Dean's oh, I got a while to go, baby. I'm good.
You
you could be 800 pounds and be famous on the internet?
Life goals.
Wow.
Life goals.
But congrats on Game of Zones.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Huge. Great episode. Great episode.
Hooper's got the show.
Oh, Hooper's in the episode. No doubt. No doubt. They did not have the budget to. So we're in the back. There's a scene where they go and look at pond casts, and they have lots of boats with podcast names, and we're in the background. Didn't have the budget to draw us on the boat. I asked, but it was just could barely justify putting us in there with the likes of the Low Post and.
I mean, my nose alone would have taken hours and hours. So, I get it.
You said it.
Let's peel back the curtain. How does that happen? Where you guys are doing the podcast, I get it. It's a joke, and then are you like, hey, should we put out a Super Hoopers in?
There's a document. Once the script gets written, there's an animatic, and then there's a list of backgrounds, where it's like, hey, put any background jokes you want or any background jokes you could think can go in this background. Like that's a Google Doc, and that gets shared amongst the writers, amongst other people at Bleacher Report. And so you could just put whatever you want in the background. Like, hey, I think there should be a joke about this. I think we can add this. So when it says like Pondcast, like what, and it just says like what podcast should be here. I could just write in there Super Hoopers, which of course I did. I wrote some other podcasts in there that didn't make it that I thought should make it, but
you couldn't delete Dunked On.
Yeah, come on, Dunked On made it. Come on.
Dunked On's too big, unfortunately. It's like Dunked On is like, and it's kind of like I think we also had other Dunked On jokes that ended up getting cut. So I think it was also there because we were going to do some making fun of Dunked On, but that ended up getting cut. So.
Should have had them as the back boat in their shot and had Danny and Nate kissing.
Yeah. I know.
Just one surprise.
I know.
Just one smooch.
I think. Well, look, if I, someday when I get my own cartoon, I'll be able to have the power to do that.
Yeah, I did love all the smoke guys smoking the pipes. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson smoking pipes on the dock.
Getting high. Yeah, it was not. That was someone else putting that in. I was using all my capital to get Super Hoopers in there. So
nice,
love it. And when Windhorse embraced it on the
on the jump. He talked about it. He talked about it on the jump. Windhorse featured prominently. I was not expecting that. I was expecting Windhorse to be a little down on the episode, to be honest. But he seemed to like it. So.
No, never underestimate how people's egos being tickled just by being like in something, even if it's making fun of them. Like people love seeing themselves.
Yeah. Did the Ringer give you guys any love?
I don't think the Ringer is KOC's in it, I guess, but he's the only Ringer person who's in it. So.
Well, Simmons is in it.
Oh yeah, trust me, Simmons
is in it hard.
More Simmons coming. He's he gets a lot of lines later on. So hope I'm not speaking out of school, but yeah, more Simmons coming.
Well, luckily no one listens to us, so
no one. Well, actually, the Malamut brothers do listen. So.
Oh no.
Yeah. But hey, Malamut brothers, nobody else listens, so don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
No, we've done 200 episodes and we've seen the stats. No one listens.
No, yeah. We good.
I think we get a listener for every episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No. All right, I think we're more than that, John. Come on, give us
more than that.
I haven't looked at the stats in a long time, so I don't know.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Okay, all right, good.
Oh yeah. Let's just say the Sopranos pod is catching up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Dave gonna have to. Well, you already work harder for your Sopranos pod than this pod, so
absolutely,
that's true.
That is true.
All right, Last Dance episodes 5 and 6.
Yes,
focus
sir.
on the Dream Team. What else is in there? Nike,
the
'98 All-Star Game,
gambling,
of course, gambling. The Knicks,
Barkley, the Suns. That Suns team.
That's right. The Suns team. That Barkley stuff I had heard before. All that, I'd heard an in-depth interview with Barkley. I can't remember what it was on, but I had heard him tell the story of playing against Michael and being like, I thought I was better than him, and then I played against him, and no, I'm not even close.
You got it. I also think that's like his reaction to losing to him is how, like, I saw these people last night being like, oh, here come the Knicks fans and their feelings. It's like, the Knicks fans are like obviously like hated Michael, but at least as a child, like you accepted that you lost to the fucking best. It was like it's not like you lost to Reggie or like you lost to like the Heat or something. Like losing to Michael was like you can't totally be mad because like he beat you fair and square. He's the fucking best. Like he wills himself to win games, or Charles Smith just can't like make a like fucking 5-footer. But you know.
But that was game 6 though.
That was game 6.
You guys would have lost. 6. Yeah. No, my team also lost to the Bulls. I mean, I was a big Lakers fan when I was a kid, and I remember them losing to the Bulls. But for me, it was a little different because they had won 5 titles, so I was like, kind of used to the Lakers winning. Not really a big deal to lose to Jordan. So I mean, I think your experience was a little different because the Knicks are just.
I will say, it also just like made me like long for a time when they were just relevant.
Yeah.
Like I would kill for them to like lose in the Eastern Conference Finals now. Like I would kill for them to be in the fucking playoffs. Like, but the fact that like that Knicks team was dope. That Knicks team is so dope.
I think that's the one thing.
Like,
that was a huge takeaway. Is like, man,
I mean, that's how I got into basketball. Like there was like that the dream team like 91, 92 is probably like when I first started getting really hard into the NBA.
I'd agree. That's the same for me. Like I watched a little of my brother actually, who's older, was a big Lakers fan. And so we watched a lot. He was a Lakers fan, and my dad was a huge Celtics fan. I'm not Celtics fan, but a Bird fan, because all crusty white guys have to love Larry Bird. So, and then I started liking Charles when he was playing for the Sixers, and then when he went to Phoenix, I followed that along with him because Phoenix was so good. And I remember watching that series, and it was the playoffs that year. My dad worked. He was doing like a business trip in Colorado, or I forgot where. It was either Arizona or Colorado. Anyway, but he brought me back a Kevin Johnson jersey. And he got my brother a Barkley jersey. So like we were in. Like, when you're a kid, if you get a jersey from somewhere else, it's like the greatest gift you could possibly imagine. And I remember thinking like, yeah, Barkley's better than Jordan. He's going to beat him. This is going down. And just like
that team dominated all year. That team was so fucking good.
So good.
I had a Barkley Suns jersey. I love that team.
But I do think like it's interesting how you said like I think it's more though that you can look back and say like, oh, Jordan beat you. But I do feel like in the moment, it always felt like your team could win.
No, I was positive the Lakers were going to beat the Bulls because all I had grown up with, and I was like pretty young, but all I had known was the Lakers winning. And then they had got knocked out, I guess, the year before, and then they made the finals in 90. And I was like, oh, the Lakers are back. Like, oh, they're back and they're going to win again. Like they always win. Like, and then
it's like thinking like, oh, there's no way LeBron's going to beat the Warriors.
No way. Can't happen. Can't happen. It's the Warriors.
Well, that still should not have happened. That should not have happened.
Oh, okay. But stick with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, so I have a question for you, Dave. Who were like, give me your ranking of your favorite Knicks at the time.
I mean, obviously,
like who was your favorite? Yeah.
Patrick's his own class.
Okay.
But
like at the bottom,
I was. How dare you?
Was like Patrick the one that you would like and root for?
Yes, I had like a fucking. I still at my parents' house. I still have like a Patrick Ewing stuffed animal. It was the first NBA jersey I ever had. I had like like the starting lineup figures of him. Like I had like a card from every one of his seasons. Oh, Patrick was the man. Patrick was the fucking best. And also like at that time period, like centers were dope. So like it's not like now where you're like, fucking centers.
Joel Embiid, the worst.
Besides Embiid.
Rudy Gobert, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Centers are a bunch of Goberts these days.
Yeah, I know. Put down the bat, dude. Quit eating that bat, Rudy.
I mean, you guys haven't mentioned the best
weird
center,
fish.
My boy Jokic.
Oh yeah. Jokic Joe.
True.
Jokic Joe.
But no, like Patrick was way up there. And then like for me, like Anthony Mason was probably like my second favorite. Like Mace was just
you're a scuzzbag. I love it. Of course he was Mason.
But he was also like he was the dude that was always in the photo shoots, fucking rappers and shit. Like you'd see him hanging out with like the Beastie Boys and Biggie and shit. Like he embraced being a New Yorker more than any of the other players did. And then obviously like I mean like Starks and Oakley were the shit too. Starks broke my heart in Game 7 in '94, so it's like hard to look past that. But Starks is also like notoriously like the nicest of all of them. Like, and he's like an ambassador to the team now.
Yeah, wasn't he like a grocery store beggar or something before, or something?
He was undrafted. He was undrafted.
A plumber.
Oh, was he a literal plumber?
Isn't that the story, Dave? Wasn't he a plumber?
Was he a plumber? He worked some like blue collar job. But he was undrafted. He was a great player. Like, but he just went undrafted, and they plucked him out of obscurity. And I mean, future 6th man of the year. Come on now,
dude. When he dunked on them, I remember thinking like,
I have-
this is it. That's the next year. This is it. It's
I
over.
know.
You can't recover from a John Starks dunk. And then they did.
My buddy was directing a commercial with him, and he just in passing was like, "Oh, my friend is like a huge fan of yours." So he had his assistant go to his office and get like headshot, like a shot at like an 8x10 of him doing the dunk, and he like autographed it to me and like got passed on to me.
So you have
You
that
know.
somewhere, or what's going on? Or
That kind of shit isn't allowed in our house because my wife has good taste.
so your wife is like, she's like
decor wise.
Derek Fisher posters only. She's like, I don't want to see any
She has
stuff.
terrible taste in men, great taste in decor.
Very true, very true.
Your house is your house is nice decor.
Thank you. But yeah, those are I posted online like last weekend during Last Dance, but like my mom never let me get Jordans, but the one time I like got like a player's sneaker when I was a kid, X-Man, Xavier McDaniels, clearance rack, Marshalls.
Wow.
Who made
1992.
What?
Reebok.
Xavier.
I did have pumps. It was a big deal. I got pumps. I did have pumps once.
Wow.
But yeah,
Okay.
my mom did not see the point of spending $100 on sneakers, so I never had Jordans. Very, very sad. Very
Yeah,
sad.
well, down at the OC,
I did have X-Men.
Jordans weren't even popular, so people only wore skate shoes.
Yeah.
Only
That was
Vans,
People
that
were
was because-
barefoot, right?
That was because of the racism, right?
sandals,
Yeah.
sandals. And the skate shoes.
They were like, "Look, I know Republicans buy Nikes too, but we're
Hey.
extra. We're extra.
Hey,
we ain't even touching
can
that."
I'll defend. I thought that was refreshing. I thought Jordan. I like that. Where Jordan's like, He's like, I don't know about politics, man. I'm not like an activist. Like, I'm just gonna sit this out. I wish more people today would just be like, look, I don't know enough about the issue. I'm just gonna sit it out. I don't know. I thought I was down with that. So
It was like one of the most racist politicians of all time running against that dude. Like it's not just like a Republican versus a Democrat. It was like a dude who was like Jesse Helms, like the biggest.
I know,
bigot.
but like people feel the need to weigh in on every single thing now, and it's like he doesn't.
I think that would have been valid.
He didn't live there. He lived in Chicago. It's like he wasn't even, and then he donated to the other guy. Like I don't know. Like I felt like
he donated, but like that's not the same thing. Come on now.
This is also the man who's making this documentary. Best explanation of this, right? It's like,
Right.
it's like a lot of things. People are like, "Oh, well, at least he talked about the gambling. At least he talked about Isaiah Thomas and how he didn't do it." I'm like, bro, this is the best, cleanest version of the story. It's 100% true that it's probably 1,000,000 times worse than they will admit, and then they had to give you just a little so you wouldn't complain about it.
The documentary is like so pro Jordan, it's ridiculous. Like I don't see how anybody could see this as not pure Jordan propaganda. It's like you're saying, they're portraying everything in the best possible light. But I felt like with the Republicans buy sneakers too. It's like, yeah, like sometimes it's like you don't know enough, or you just don't want to be political on certain issues. And he didn't live there, and like he donated to the other guy. I don't know. I felt like he was just.
My point is, it wasn't like this guy against Lindsey Graham or like a more polished like Republican who's like a little bit more like centrist. It's a guy who believes segregation should still exist.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Come on.
He seemed pretty bad. But at the same time, like would they have really made a difference? Like if Jordan said, vote for whatever the other guy's name was, Harvey something.
No,
Like I'm sure Jesse Helms won by like 20 points in North Carolina. Like I don't have the stats in front of me. I didn't go back and pull the poll.
I think
So you'll just say something. You'll just make a wild exaggeration.
But it's North Carolina. It's the South. It's like the freaking the Republicans win.
No.
In the South.
And he would have been the first black senator.
Right. I'm sure we all would have preferred Mr. Harvey, but I don't think Jordan's moving the needle. I mean, you saw LeBron. LeBron couldn't even deliver Ohio to Hillary. So I mean, if LeBron can't fucking deliver Ohio to Hillary.
But I also think it's less about the results and the sentiment behind it. Like if
Yeah.
Right.
you're being asked by your mom to do this,
Right.
and you're like, nah, I need to be selling to these racist people because I want their money. That is a different thing than like weighing in on every single topic
Yeah.
in
I just,
politics.
I
Like
just,
I
I,
think if
yeah.
your mom is like, yo, you really need to do this, it's different. And I think the story about Jordan not using his voice for the good of his community or the community in general is something that has been the critique of him for 30 some years. So
Right, but like
I do think
not
is
every single person needs to be engaged politically. It's like yeah, sure, you want to educate yourself and vote, but like not every single person needs to be an activist and have an opinion about every single issue. Like not every single
It is,
famous person needs to be like out there trumpeting their opinions.
it is true, but like we're not talking about like, man, Ron Harper should have stepped up. It's like
yeah.
the most arguably the most famous person at that time in the world. Like, and like they show Muhammad Ali. It's like Muhammad Ali, fucking 30 years before that, stepped up to the plate.
Yeah. Like Muhammad
And
Ali
like it
went
cost
to
him.
jail.
It cost him. Yeah. he
No,
went
but
to
that's what
fucking
I'm
prison.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like Jordan chose another path. Jordan was like, that's not me. Like, I just want to be a good basketball player and I want to be a global icon.
But I'd say this.
Right, but you got to live with the consequences of that decision, though.
Yeah,
Right.
you know?
And I'm saying I'm fine. I mean, people just want to excel at their job and not, be a political activist. Like, I think we should be okay with that.
I would say I agree with you, but I think it's different because, and this is what a lot of African Americans say, is when you get to that level, because there's so much scrutiny on you and there's so much obviously historical reasons for it, that when you do get to that level, there's more pressure for you to say stuff about the injustices that are going around. So there is an underlying pressure like, hey, one of us finally made it. They are more famous than any white person in the world. And can you use that power to just say something? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
why we
Right.
have, I mean, but historically, like people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, like even the richest of people feel that they have to be, do their philanthropy out there. You know what I mean? Like they have to give back. And I think
Well,
the pressure for someone like Jordan is greater than, the three of us could ever imagine.
philanthropy and activism are
course.
two different things, though. They're two totally different things, in my opinion. Like, I'm all for philanthropy, and I think if you make a lot of money, it's on you to redistribute, to give back. Activism is something different. I mean, that's like basically just spouting opinions without actually doing anything. Like
Well,
if
I think
Jordan,
they want him to do stuff with it too.
well, yeah, I mean, like if you want to
Right.
criticize him for a lack of philanthropy, I think that's a much more better criticism than a lack of having an opinion, because it's like some people are wired in certain ways, where some people are wired to pay attention to the news and to really really educate themselves, and some people are wired to just like it's just like they don't really care about it. Like I know plenty of people in my life, they just don't really pay attention to the news. It's like just doing this other thing,
But my argument, and I think
I see what you're saying. Jordan is
but not even that. But it's different when you're African American and you don't need to look at the news to see the problems that are going on. I think him just experiencing it, I'm going to assume that growing up in the South where he experienced racism and these problems.
So he talked about it.
And he talked about it. So like, these are things that he has to live with, that it's not just about, look, I don't know what's going on in China. Like, okay, maybe shouldn't know I don't know what's the difference between Hong Kong and Shanghai. Like, hey, I don't know that shit. Cool. But I do know that racism exists because I've experienced it since day one. And if you're not, this is something that is, I think as a community, they would say like he should know about because he's lived it, as opposed to something specific that is a very politics thing or a certain thing like that. Like I think that would be the argument.
And sure, and if that's what he wants to do, I'd be totally fine if that's what he wants to do. But I think Black excellence has like a huge effect too. So it's like test scores for African Americans jumped after Obama was elected. Just setting that positive role model example and showing that you could succeed had a huge effect. So I think Michael Jordan, just being Michael Jordan, like has a large effect, and just being a role model, and just being a model citizen, at least publicly, like I think that has a large impact, and we shouldn't necessarily discredit him for not doing more.
Yeah, but in the documentary, we saw Obama saying, I watched this guy not be an activist and do that. So to your, I think you're kind of helping my point here is that even Obama, a guy who just by being there is the one criticizing Jordan, is saying that maybe Jordan could have done a little more.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Any other thing? Was it great to see Seinfeld in the doc?
Oh, but like, yeah, it was like my I posted this online. But it was my Venn diagram on screen there.
Yeah, I love
Like
when he sees Phil.
Seinfeld and the NBA just together.
I like when he sees Phil Jackson. He's just like, "Hey, Phil." He's like a little like a fan, you know.
I thought that was so great that he was like, that's the new thing is just leaving when you're on top.
Right.
Just quit him while you're the best.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah, great episodes though. I thought these were the strongest episodes.
Definitely.
People were like, "Ooh, this makes Jordan look bad." Ooh, and I was like, "What?" Like we were saying earlier, like kid gloves with the gambling, where it's just like, dude, like this dude's gambling with like known criminals, and it's like there's multiple stories of him losing like millions upon millions of dollars, and it's like, yeah, I like to gamble. Oh, and he's like, although the footage of him playing with the perm mullet dude in the
amazing.
Dude, that was the best part of the whole time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and he loses to the perm mullet guy, and the perm mullet guy is like
the best of all the Sniff brothers.
Did you guys used to play that game growing up?
I had no idea what they were playing.
No.
I couldn't figure it out.
I used to play that game all
I couldn't figure out the rules at all because it seemed like who could get closest to the wall.
Yeah.
But then it seemed like somebody lost who had gotten closer. So so it's just who gets closest to the wall.
I don't know if they're playing a variation, but the game we used to play is like, yeah, you take your whatever change you have in the pocket and you try to get it close to the wall. Whoever gets it close to the wall gets all the quarters.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Are you allowed to hit the wall?
Yeah, I thought so. And I kind of remember maybe there was a variation where like one guy would go first and he would play the field kind of thing, but I forgot. I mean, it's been a long time, but
the best part of that is when Jordan's like, when he's like all pissed off, he's like, all right, go protect the United Center or something.
Yeah. But also to your point about him being an asshole, it's like you're watching him be like, oh, I never used Isaiah's name.
I know. It's
So,
like, come
and
on,
it's like, bro, come on. Like,
come on.
You basically are admitting it.
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
No. That guy that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's not gonna be on the team. Cool. I'll play. Like, come on.
I like how his wife and family are just not in the doc either. It's like, it's just,
yeah.
Just I don't think Jordan was the best family man. It's just my guess.
No.
Well,
He's like, I'm like, we're shooting this. I'm sitting in my living room with a fucking huge glass of scotch. Nobody else.
Yeah. And then the one scene, he's like, hey, can I just have a moment by myself after winning the championship? And they're like, yeah, do you want to call your wife? He's like, oh, yeah. And
he's like, oh, that's right.
That's right.
Shoot.
Why wasn't she there?
It's like, well, Magic's like, well, we would, we're in Barcelona. We'd spend all night, playing cards. It's like, kids aren't there. You ain't hanging with the. All right.
I was telling John, he's like the biggest fucking grudge holder. Like, Barkley was on with Scott Van Pelt afterwards, and he made fun of him about being a shitty executive on Inside the NBA like years and years ago, and like Jordan still won't talk to him.
Yeah. No, I know. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's kid gloves. It's very interesting though, watching him interviewed, because you do see another side. And does he remind you of anybody? Like, does Jordan remind you of anybody that you know, like in your life?
No, like a meth addict that
no,
I mean like with his red eyes and like
it's just like the way he talks. It's like the way he talks and the way he like interacts. I don't know. Like, I know there's a couple people I know who were like the coolest guys ever. Like, basically they were like the coolest guy in high school, and they're just like naturally cool, naturally charismatic. And Jordan reminds me of both those guys. Like, just the way there's like something about the way he carries himself and like the way he interacts, where it's just like a lifetime of being the alpha, like a lifetime of everybody, like, looking up to you and treating you like with respect, I don't know.
Yeah, when Randy Brown comes in, he's like, MJ, you got any tickets tonight? Like, and he's like, he's like, man, he's like, I don't care if the seats are up, next to God. I don't care where they are. He goes, we say up next to God, up next to me.
I know.
Mike, oh my God.
But
Yeah,
he
but he's
was.
so cool though. He's the
He's
fucking
so cool. He's like, and that's the thing. It's like that's what I always thought separated. I mean, I made a whole PowerPoint about this, but like that's what separated him from LeBron. It's just like he's just so much cooler than LeBron. Like LeBron is just like you just watch the way Michael Jordan runs onto the court. Like you just watch the way he moves, and you're like, oh, this motherfucker's cool, and he's just so fucking handsome too. It's like, and LeBron, like whatever. Like LeBron is just not as handsome. It's just not. He's just not as cool. Like he's LeBron and everything, but it's just something about Jordan. So
yeah. Well, just seems more effortless. It seems like LeBron tries hard to be cool.
right.
You know.
But yeah, he's not there. All right. Any other thoughts on the doc?
No. It's been so good.
Terrible take by me. Terrible take.
Very bad
take. I was episode 5 in particular, when it had all the Kobe stuff, when it showed Kobe at the first All-Star game, and it was behind the scenes, and they're all talking about Kobe, like how he's a ball.
He's like the Laker boy. The Laker boy. The Laker boy.
Comes all the Laker boy. And he's like, man, he's like, you shoot 4 and you miss 4 and you want the ball. I am passing to you. Get the rebound. Like that was like,
yeah.
I was like watching that and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And then goes the Kobe interview and you see Kobe talking. And it's like emotional. And I'm just like, oh my God, this doc is so
It's also like the mafia with the boss in the middle, and he just like doesn't shut the fuck up, and everybody's just like, yeah, you're right, MJ.
Yeah, right. Laughing at his jokes.
So true.
Yeah.
Laker boy.
Yeah.
It's been Steve Smith just like, yeah, MJ.
I know, Steve Smith.
I can't believe I'm at the game.
I know. He's lucky to be in the Eastern Conference. Steve Smith making the All-Star game.
Yeah.
My wife's been a couple episodes behind, but she'll just be like listening and then just yell like, I can't believe Matt said this Jordan doc would be bad. And then like a day later, she'd be like, wait, he doubled down on it? How? Like, classic.
I'm gonna triple down. I'll triple down. I think I just can't have to move the goalposts into to media where it's like, all right, originally it was horse. Then I said the Sherwood Strauss book, which was a good book, by the way, but it's not as good as the Jordan doc. Now I gotta go with Game of Zones, baby. The season of Game of Zones. Man. The season of Game of Zones is gonna be better. All right, just watch what happens. All right, you be the judge.
I will say, like, the pandemic is the best thing that ever happened to this doc because people are so fucking. I mean, it would have been very popular, but like, so fucking thirsty for anything sports related because there's no fucking sports to watch. So, like, I do think that like people are like that much more like exuberant about watching this.
Right. Well, also the best thing that happened to Game of Zones too, because we wrote the season a long time ago, and usually we have to deal with things changing, but the pandemic just put the whole league on pause. So we're like, great, don't have to update anything. There's like, nothing, like nothing happened. Oh, and then again, we wrote this a long time ago. The whole final storyline centers on Jordan. So this documentary coming out and putting Jordan back in the news makes it seem like we're reacting to the only NBA thing going on. But no, just just sometimes you get lucky. Knock on wood.
True.
All right, 200 episode. So I thought, what are we doing for the 200 episode? We're just talking about our favorite moments. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We also asked the listeners to share some of their favorite moments. So I'm guessing there will be overlap. So I don't know if we want to read off some of the stuff that the listeners sent in,
Matt.
Or if we want to start.
You prepared something, right, Matt?
I did.
Yeah. So was it something about was it like some kind of Blue Chew or something? Don't you have something prepared?
Do you want to do?
Don't you have something prepared for us?
You want to do a live read? You want to do a live read?
Well, I was trying to segue seamlessly into it.
We can't do Blue Chew, John. We have Blue Chew comes later. Blue Chew is the blue part of the pod later in the pod.
Oh, okay.
We got to talk. We have to talk about Bet Online. So this live read will probably be a future, like for our 300th episode. This will probably be a best moment. Bet Online, Madam. Tournament copy mid-roll with currently no NBA or MLB. You might think there's nothing to bet on. Well, you'd be wrong. Our exclusive partner, Bet Online, still has hundreds of events, games, props to wager on. From their online casino to poker and blackjack, they're bringing Vegas to you. Missing the NFL? No problem. BetOnline has a live daily Madden NFL 20 simulations that you can bet on.
Hear that, Jordan?
Yeah. Yeah. Michael Jordan. I guarantee you, 100% Michael Jordan is betting on the Madden 20 simulations going on online. You can of course bet on Survivor, Big Brother. My friend works on Big Brother, so maybe I can inside info.
Big fan.
And, right? Don't they know what happens? Is Big Brother's not live, isn't it? Doesn't it tape way before? How do they?
No,
how does?
No, it is live.
Oh, it's live. Okay, all right. So there's no there's no unfair advantage.
Survivor is taped before until the finale.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you could bet on all this stuff. All open 24 hours a day, all online. Use promo code BlueWire to join today and receive your new bonus.
Damn, you just light up a Cohiba, pour a huge glass of scotch, and
just fucking
watch a doc about yourself, and put some action down on the Survivor finale.
No, watch some Madden simulations. Just watch the computer play at each other and you bet on one computer.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Oh, what are we doing? 200 favorite moments.
Seamless.
From the past. Yeah.
I mean,
live reads are tough. I respect Bill Simmons, who can roll in and out of live read real smooth.
Yeah.
I've not mastered the skill yet.
I'll look. I think one of my favorite moments. It's a very recent moment. It was a fan favorite, a lot of it, and that's we just talked about it, but Matt's take on the Jordan doc was just classic. I mean, this was like such a late entry into the greatest moments of Super Hoopers, and maybe it's recency bias, but I don't know. It's up there, man. It's really, really up there as far.
Yeah, I wish people would just forget about it and move on. Like I wish
just 200 more episodes. Maybe
I don't really think we need to dwell on it. I think we can all
come on. We're really being a dead horse. Being a goddamn dead horse.
Don't think we need to talk about it. So yeah, not a favorite moment of mine. Did not make my list. My favorite moment, to be honest, my absolute favorite moment in Super Hoopers history is when we surprised Rock for his birthday. When his son set up the surprise guest appearance of Rock on the podcast. It was just very heartfelt from the son to the father. Rock was great. It wasn't like, he was a bad guest. He was just great to have on. Gave us the lowdown on Luka. So that's gotta be my favorite moment. Of the history of the pod, personally. But
yeah, I that definitely crossed my mind. That was an amazing moment. I would also say this has been mentioned by a lot of our listeners, but the first time at least that I was on and we listened to Blazington, I had never heard him before, and I feel like you surprised us.
I did. Yeah.
And it was I just always remember the Mookie Monster.
I discovered it while I was doing Curry research, I think, for Spurs Special Forces, and I came across it. Yeah, I haven't checked back in on Blaze. We should check back in and see what Blaze is up to.
We really should.
I still get the notifications from him for like when he posts. Like it, he's lost a bit of steam, but I did message him once on YouTube, and I was like, hey, would you come on our BA podcast? And he said yes. And then he
that's right. And then he never
stopped
got
responding.
Yeah. He was on some bigger podcasts too. I think we kind of stopped doing it after a Gimlet podcast highlighted Blaze. So
right.
But we should get back on it. We should check back in with Sean Blaze, see what he's up to. So
I mean, he really we rode that wave for a while. It was very fun.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
One of my favorites, another classic Matt moment, Andrew Bogut dunking on you and just ending your life, turning you into Ellen DeGeneres. Just a vicious blow.
You know what's weird is now everyone is anti-Ellen. It came out what a terrible person she was. It's so weird that it's taken so long because we all talked about
No,
how
we
what a
knew.
horrible.
I mean,
Yeah,
we knew because we knew people that worked for her.
right. Listeners, the Hoopers have been way ahead of the curve. We know what a terrible
Yeah.
human she's been for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely the first. I think that was probably the first great moment of the pod is when Bo get dunked on me. I remember I think it was right before my son was born. So
Last great moment for you. So
yeah. Oh, when my son was born, yeah, that was pretty good, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I think an underrated moment, one that looking back, I think is better than I think it played at the time, was the tarot card reader predicting LeBron going to the Lakers.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
We had a tarot card on, and she totally predicted LeBron to the Lakers way before. Also, a bit that NBA Desktop does that we did first.
Yep.
But I mean, everyone does
Yep.
that bit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like they stole it from us. It's
I think they stole it from us.
it's a classic. It's a classic radio bit.
Yeah.
So.
Also, it was just something that we talked about after the fact. But our trip to Sacramento, perhaps we should have. Perhaps we should have potted from Sacramento. But I don't know that was probably my favorite in person moment together.
Oh yeah. So something that the listeners did not participate in at all and have no.
Right. Well, we talked about it afterwards, and we were on the MSG broadcast of the Knicks and shit like that.
No, I mean obviously the best city in the world. Yeah, super fun. I think New Orleans is next for us if this pandemic ever ends. I think we got to go to New Orleans.
No doubt.
Hopefully Zion, can lose the 400 pounds he's probably gained during the pandemic. But yeah.
Should we read off some of the
go for
it. You have it up?
I do have it up. Some of these I don't remember.
Friend of the pod who's he's been a guest. He said beers post draft are greater than leftover lime seltzer booze, which was he came on our we did a post Zion draft with him. And then we went out together, and then he came on the pod after that without John. And I had a lot of disgusting leftover White Claw that I served him. So, so he enjoyed the post Zion draft pod more than when John, probably because John wasn't there.
Can we say his name?
Why who is his friend?
Steve. I thought I said friend of the pod, Steve Gossett.
That's right. It was the lottery. Did we watch the lottery together? It wasn't. Anyways.
Oh, it was the lottery. You're right. It was the lottery.
It was when the Knicks got the third. It was when the Knicks got the third pick. That was a lot. That was another in-person fun moment to be there with Dave. They go to the commercial. The Knicks.
Then the Lakers get the fourth pick.
Yeah. So it's like Knicks, Lakers, Pelicans, Grizz. The Knicks could be, and you were hyped. You were like, "Hey, third pick."
Well, I said before it started, I just wanted to make it to the commercial break.
Right.
If we got the fifth pick and then it went to commercial, it would have been so fucking depressing. Yeah. Still depressing, but not quite as depressing.
It turns out big difference between Zion Williamson, John Morant, and RJ Barrett.
And RJ Barrett.
Who knew? Two-player draft. You got a third pick in a two-player draft.
Still rather have Ja. Zion dope, but Zion ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it for a while.
Oh wow, this is a good hot take. You taking Ja over Zion?
This might be a hot take. Well, just for longevity's sake.
I actually agree with this take. I want to wait a little bit before I was going to put it out there. Like I'm a little take shy, But
it's also not like Ja's whatever, dude. Ja dope.
Ja great, dope. Dude. If you're a rookie, I mean they're in the playoffs. They're the 8th seed currently. Who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, you're a rookie point guard leading your team to the 8th seed. Ja dope.
Yep. Next person, also a friend of the pod, Joe Spellman, big scumbag, my best friend. He said his favorite memory was when he was on.
Okay,
that's all he said. Because
Joe,
I remember him. I remember him not really talking at all.
He had said about 3 words. He basically was a piece of furniture. It was like a cardboard cutout of Spellman on the couch, and it was basically like we did a live pod and he was the only person in the audience. Yeah, exactly. And my only exposure to Joe had been at Summer League, where
Oh, yeah,
he
well,
rooted
that's-
vociferously for Amari Spellman because they had the same last name.
Yep.
And then we
Yep.
met up with him at midnight, and I cannot divulge the stories he was telling.
Nope.
But he,
Nope.
Nope.
he was telling a story over and over again, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my entire life. And he was
had-
so drunk he could not remember that he had just told the story, and then he would tell the
Right.
story again, and it was like that for 3 hours, and I was dying.
Welcome to the vast majority of our memories together, me and Joe.
He just tells that story. He tells that same story.
No, just like him, like way too wasted and getting out of control. He
Yeah.
was like he was at the sports book that entire day. We were at Summer League. He was just at the sports book the whole day drinking.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, you a real one. Spell's a real one. Spell's a real one.
Mm-hmm.
From Ian Smith, the Go fan. We love all of our listeners, but Ian was a diehard from pretty much the jump.
I have no idea how Ian even discovered us.
I don't either. Actually, that's a good question for him.
Yeah. How do you
Ian,
even know
Ian, let us know
about our existence, Ian? Yeah.
I think I paid him on Fiverr.
He was original.
He's actually
That's fair.
Fivered up the
That's
first
fair.
fan.
Yeah.
He said the Blue Chew ad. Of course.
Oh, wait, hey, it's coming up.
Hey,
We got another one coming
recent
up.
favorite. Yeah. But then he said, but really, giving John a minute per win when the Sixers were trash.
That
Love
was
it.
That was fun.
a lot of people mentioned that.
Yeah,
That was like
I mean,
that was like our first. That was like our first gag. That was like our first bit.
That was a nice little bit.
Yeah.
I got 1 minute.
When we first started this podcast, it was like a serious podcast. It was like we were trying to be a serious basketball podcast because there wasn't even that many when we first started. There were like not that many basketball, but every basketball podcast started when we started. Like
yeah.
Right.
And then we realized we had to actually come up with like funny segments and stuff.
Yep. Rock, the aforementioned Rock says, you guys are just very brave, unique, and of course, funniest takes on the NBA and domestic baby monitoring devices. But of course, it's the chemistry that tops it all. Keep hooping. Love you, Rock. Do you want to go? You want to go into what he's referring to, Matt, about the baby monitoring device?
I know this was going to come up, the baby monitor incident. And to be honest, where I am currently located in my house and the number of people that can hear my voice, I don't think I can go into this story, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fair.
Because to this day, certain people don't know about that story. Specifically, my wife doesn't know about the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lucas Pagan also said 2 words, baby monitor.
Yeah. So
Classic.
maybe one of you guys can summarize it. Like I said, I can't summarize it. Okay. It's too dangerous. All right.
It's just that back in the day, kids, there was a thing called Tumblr.
You started the story way in the beginning.
Yeah, and a lot of gifs, little sexy time gifs. And Matt was checking out some sexy time gifs, because he thought he was alone, but he didn't realize that the baby monitor was turned on. And then his father-in-law came in and said, "Hey, Matt, the baby monitor was on."
he just 10 minutes later, 10 minutes after I had finished and was downstairs eating, he walked down and silently handed me the baby monitor with no commentary, just the look of a man who spent 16 years in Vietnam, in the Vietnam War, and just stone cold slid me the baby monitor across the table. So, yeah.
Well,
power move.
Commentary. Yeah, good work. Mike Jones, haven't heard from Mike Jones in a while. Jones, another OG listener. So many good times. 1 minute per Sixers win. Kawhi in China. But the GOAT segment is definitely anything featuring Sean Blazington.
Sean Blaze.
Damn, people, we need to bring Blaze back. I didn't realize how popular.
I know. I mean, Blazington, come on. Bechter, shout to Bechter, our man in Sweden. I generally agree with everyone else, but a few underrated moments come to mind. One, the Tice get at me when John impersonated a Boston newspaper, and David tweeted in German with the ending "Tice is nice."
I don't remember that at all.
I mean that was a tweet and I barely remember it. And then 2, Matt exaggerates for his Wolves pronunciation because they deserve all the L's.
That's just how I say it.
Wolves.
That's just how I say it.
Wolves,
That's how I've
wolves.
never learned a different way to say it.
Another friend of the former guest, Jay Pesquera, says Paul Pierce's Cheetos fingers. Do you remember what that was?
No,
I don't remember that.
don't remember that.
Wade Randolph's poop stories.
Oh yeah, Wade Randolph used to come on the podcast.
Yeah. He was such a good guest, especially considering he knows nothing about the NBA. After the 90s.
He came on twice. He was good the first time. The second time was not as good.
And then of course I almost mentioned this, but I figured I'd save it. But the Colangelo shit, of course.
Oh shit!
So
oh yeah, we were like,
Man, come on,
we were like the lead pod. We were like
we were on top of the world.
Yeah, that was definitely our highest ratings. We were getting like thousands of downloads. That was like, yeah, we were on that stuff.
I mean, I always look forward to recording the pod. But like I was legitimate. I would really look forward to recording those episodes.
No,
there was so much breaking news. Like it was like just so fast moving.
It took over my life for 2 weeks. All I could do was look at this story and like engage in that Colangelo story. It's the best story. It's easily the best story since I've been a fan of the league that I could think of. So I can't wait for the doc on that, the 30 for 30 on that. So
it's amazing. It was amazing.
There's gonna be
so
one.
much. There's so much going on there.
We still don't know who tipped the ringer off, who tipped Dietrich off. So we still don't know if it was like a guy who the story was he did machine learning to find these burners, which I think is bullshit. I think he just knew that Colangelo had these burners. So the call was coming from inside the building. Somebody sold him out.
I think I told you this, but I I used some because he had liked a Sixers writer's like tweet by accident.
Right.
The guy. Oh yeah. You tried to look into this.
So I looked through all that guy's followers for any kind of AI or like networking thing, and I tracked it down to about 5 people. And I was working with someone else at the time, and I don't know if they ever got anywhere. We'll see.
I mean, it's just more likely that I think it's not an AI guy and just someone who knew. But I don't know. We'll see. We will not. We might not. We may never.
My question is, why wouldn't you just like let it out? Let it out.
I think it will come out. I mean,
if you're the guy,
identity. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you work for the Sixers, so
okay, so that would make sense.
If you work for the Sixers or you work for the NBA, you don't. That's why I don't think if it's an AI guy, if it's like a guy who just like built an algorithm that discovered this, you would be like, it's me, hey, and you'd be like carried around and beers bought for you by Sixers fans. So it's like it must be an inside job. Otherwise, you'd reveal yourself.
I feel I feel like I think it's Sam Hinkie. I'm gonna say it's him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be that
because he's the only one nerdy enough to think that people would believe his AI thing. Like, clearly I just studied speech patterns.
The thing is, he would have the grudge. He would be like, "Fuck this Colangelo dude." He would kind of like see the weird behavior of these burners and be like, "This motherfucker, I bet it's him." And then also the AI thing is like such a hinky excuse. Like it's a hinky cover story. It's like such a cover story he would think of. So I'm with you. I will choose to believe it's hinky because also it makes it the best story. That would be him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What a ride. What a ride that was. It was great. Right. Thank you, listeners, for sharing some of your favorite memories. It's been fun. It's been fun, for the most part. Oh, I think Joe Borelli also said something.
We don't need
that. But we don't need that bullshit.
We don't need it.
I do think one of my favorites is the Coach Nick ad read.
That was the best.
I think that is still made me laugh the most.
That podcast was so fucking good. That podcast had a Blazington. Okay, there's a Blazington on that podcast. The Coach Nick ad read, where we paid Coach Nick to read an ad for our podcast. on his network after he kicked us off. Okay. Dieter Kurtenbach told Game 7 stories. Like he was at Game
Was
7.
he in that pod?
He was on that pod. And so he told all these inside stories from being at Game 7. So yeah, it's been, that was our best pod, and then it's just been shitty since then. So
yeah.
I agree. I was in my trailer shooting a commercial listening to that pod. So it was way better than actually being on the pod.
Right. And it was like the peak.
Much more enjoyable.
Yeah, you're like making money in how is the business, Dave? Is it just like nothing getting done right now? Hollywood wise?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, I talked to I don't want to, I talked to my close personal friend Randall Park, and he was like, things are super busy. He's sold like 3 shows in the past month or something. So
yeah, he's a famous person.
Yeah.
He's like,
guess what? Things are fine for the fucking celebrities out there. Like things are actually great for them.
Yeah.
They're like probably like those are the people getting contacted. Like, hey, can you just like do a Zoom for us and we'll pay you fucking $50,000? Like, yeah, that's fine for them.
It was really annoying because I was like, oh, so if things calm down? Oh no, actually things have just ramped up development. So I've had tons of meetings, pitched tons of shows, sold 3 of them. So yeah,
I will say like whenever the fuck like things are relaxed a bit, whenever that is. I do think there's going to be like a huge explosion of production because there's just going to be like people chomping at the bit. There's going to be so much stuff that's like in development that I do think it's going to be very busy. But when is that? Is that a year from now? Like who the hell knows?
Yeah.
All right.
So, I like how Randall, all he has to do is like, here's my pitch. I'm in your show. I'm in your show. How about that? It has me in it. Is that a yes or no? Yeah, we'll take you, dude.
Two of the shows he sold. So one of the shows is just he sold. Joe, you know who Joe Coy is?
Yeah.
It's just a Joe Coy starred show with Randall writing it. So yeah,
perfect.
Okay,
Sold. Done.
His other show. Oh God, I forget the name. He's a famous God. He did Friends from College. He did Forgetting Sarah Marshall. He did Get Me to the Greek. It's Nick something is the guy's name. Anyways, famous writer, like big time writer. Anyways, so yeah, exactly. I know. So it's just that's how Hollywood works. It's all name. It's like so not idea driven. It's just like whoever. It's like name and reputation. It's really annoying when you have no name or reputation to try to sell a show. So
yep.
All right. Should we do Get At Me Dog? What do you guys want to do? You want to do Get At Me Dog?
Yeah, let's do it. Get At Me Dog.
This week, TJ Warren. So TJ Warren. Oh God, you guys talk. I need to find my tweet. I'm sorry, I don't have it up.
Yeah. So TJ Warren, his name is TJ Warren. That's the extent of what I know about him. Besides the fact that he's like a pacer and was a son, but yeah, I definitely phoned this in. I made a Photoshop of him in front of a TJ Maxx, and I said, "Hey, at TJ Maxx, how about partnering with my guy at Tony Warren Jr.? 2 baller brands coming together. It's what the world needs right now."
Nice. It's not terrible.
Not terrible. Good.
It's okay. I will say, friend of the pod, Hakeem the Lean responded with a GIF doing the like.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, so hopefully Hakeem didn't read mine because mine's straight trash. The worst. I saw both of yours and your guys are doing well. So I went very low key. TJ had tweeted at this rapper Staley and said, "New tape, Fuego." And I just wrote favorite track.
Rough.
It's not a sexy pick, but it's a play. It's a
classic
play.
John. It's classic John. Low effort, but could get a response.
Yes.
Yep.
So TJ Warren tweeted 72 Chevelle SS with the Frankie Beverly plan of vibe. All right. So
the car Chevelle.
Yes.
SS Chevelle.
So I responded with a picture of a Chevelle and a guy standing in front of the Chevelle, and I photoshopped TJ Warren's face above the guy's face. So it looks like TJ Warren, although the only picture I could find is like a fat white dude. So not the most flattering picture. So I photoshopped TJ Warren's face on a fat white dude standing in front of a Chevelle. And then I just said, "I got you."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
saw
good.
that. I thought it was good.
It's good Photoshop. Good Photoshop. So
Very
I
good.
appreciate that.
I did not get a response. You guys get a response?
No, my streak has come to an end. At
No.
least now, right now.
Alas.
He does look like he's like not like we. Lash definitely found like some like more active people in the previous weeks.
He does. He does stuff
looks
though.
like it looks like he tweets, but he doesn't like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't like a lot. Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah, it's tough one.
All right,
Tough one.
let's do another live read. And after this live read, we're gonna do a new segment. So be sure to listen to this live read, so you don't miss this brand new segment.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, get comfortable.
Right.
Get comfortable for this one. Lay
All
down.
right.
Lay back.
Yeah, lay down.
Lay
down.
Put those hands behind your head,
dude. Fire up the Tumblr. Fire up the Alessa Cuisine Instagram.
Oof.
Whatever.
Like the Cohiba. Like that Cohiba.
Light the Cohiba, and just pop a Blue Chew, baby. Pop a Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew, you ask? Guys, looking to last longer and go a few extra rounds, get to BlueChew.com. BlueChew.com is the first ever chewable that brings you the performance in the bedroom to another level. They've got the same active agreements. Got the same ingredients.
Same agreements? You better be in
ingredients.
Got to be in agreement if you're using
ingredients.
it. Okay.
Consent. Consent. Before you start chewing that blue,
dude. Before you start chewing that Blue Chew, you got to get consent from your wiener, dude. You just got to ask your wiener. Are you ready?
I think the problem is your wiener is not consenting with your desire.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, whatever. I mean, this is like you're forcing a boner upon your wiener with the Blue Chew. So I don't know.
Hey, before you chew that blue, you got to ask who.
Okay. You could take them anytime, day or night. Hey, stomach full? You've been like, have you been overeating because you can't get a boner? No problem. The Blue Chew will still work. Plus, you don't need to go to the doctor's office or spend time waiting. Pharmacy line, Blue Chew's online. Physicians free of cost. Here's a great.
You don't want to be in the doctor's office. People all coughing now and shit. Everybody's got a mask on. That's gonna get you. Dude, that's not gonna get you hard.
Dude, yeah, you don't want to be going to the doctor's office with a softie. Come on, dude. All right. Here's a great deal for you guys. Visit BlueChew.com and just get your first order free when you use promo code BlueWire. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code BlueWire.
Oh, I'm gonna buy some and tell people they're edibles. Yo, next trip to New Orleans. When you go to New Orleans, I'm a pack a bunch.
Dude, hey,
great.
CBD. Hey, here's the thing. We go to New Orleans. We all gotta do Blue Chew. All right. We just do before the night out. We just gotta do Blue Chew.
If there's one city that you can just still like in 2020 just walk around in with a big boner, it's definitely New Orleans. Like
it's New Orleans and every single library. I don't know if you've ever been to a public library, but there are lots of people perusing. This happens to me all. I mean, maybe it's just libraries I go to, just looking at porn on the library computers.
Sure.
All right. All right. New segment. The segment is we're just trying a new segment out. It's called Russillo on Russillo. It's Ryan with we got it's a podcast that we're trying to launch. It's Ryan Russillo talking to Ryan Russillo.
What's up? What?
Hey, Bill.
What's sorry. Hold on. I gotta get my Russillo going.
Hey. I mean, clear your throat. Be more interesting. You can't be interesting unless you clear your throat.
Are we doing the thing where you have to prepare for an impersonation before you do the impersonation? Are we doing that? Are we doing that?
Are we? Is it really? Are we? I mean, guys on Twitter think they can do a Russillo, but it's like, bro, if you did not get into Boston radio at age 19, and then go on the Scott Van Pelt show, and then move to LA to be a writer, it's like, don't even try it, okay? I mean, like, come on. Where are your Boston radio show tapes? Okay, don't have them? All right. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not going to listen to these guys on Twitter who think they could be Ryan Russillo.
look,
You are a writer. You are a writer. That's an inside joke. You're a writer. You're a writer. I'm a writer.
I'm a
I am a
writer.
writer. I am a writer. I am a writer.
hey, like, look, I bartended in Boston. Okay, I know. Like, I've met Tom Brady. I know things. Like my takes. Like, sure, you can be a guy on Twitter. You go after my takes, but my takes are good. Okay, everyone attacked us about, is Rodman interesting? And you know what? Like, honestly, is he? I
He's
don't
just
think he
not.
is.
No, he's just not. He's just not. I'm sorry. If you want
Hey,
to be the dude,
dyeing your hair doesn't make you interesting.
if
Okay? Like, this is the problem. Like, this is the problem. Like, we live in a reality show environment now. Okay? Like, look, I can go to the doctor's office and get an antibody test, and the nurse will be like, wow, looks like you work out. And I'm like, I do. Does that make me interesting? It makes me hot. It makes me buff. And she can be like, what's up with your Mastodon shirt? And I'm like, okay, I like music. Like, I like rock. I like to rock. But, like, does that make me interesting? Maybe.
Look, we've all played pickup with the one guy that popped a bunch of blue chew right before the game, and you're trying to D up, and you got this dude's just hard loaf, just on your back. We've all been there.
are we going to do the thing where we pretend that a pill is better than a chewable? Because I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. Okay, guys. Like, I like my boner pill chewable. Okay, like I want to chew it around. Like, if you want to be the dude, I know people are going to disagree with me, and I know people are going to try to dunk on me on Twitter, and I know, but I'm just not going to entertain that. I'm sorry.
And I know we talk about outrage culture a lot, way too much. Of all the people, I will tell you, we talk about outrage culture too much. But in this case, I just don't see the difference between a chew and a regular pill swallow.
No,
Yeah.
there is.
And, like,
hey, Ryan with an E. I'm trying to tell you there is a difference. There's a big difference, huge difference. Okay.
You want to talk about outrage culture? Like, that's me, like, getting pissed off that there's no yogurt left at the buffet at the Delta Sky Club. Okay. How do you not have yogurt?
Like, I mean,
I'm a fit guy of a certain age. I need my calcium. Okay.
Look,
You want to talk about outrage culture?
I need my calcium, and I need some booze. I mean, it's like some of us, we like to get drunk and then break into someone else's house and then sleep there. Okay, like that's just something I like to do. Okay, it's not, it's not weird.
Also, like, fuck social distancing.
All right, that's been Russillo and Russillo. That's
Right.
been Russillo and Russillo. Okay.
Wow. Wow. What a really, really bad bad segment.
Terrible.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if that makes the best of on the top 300
Yeah, we'll find out.
on the 300th episode.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, shout out to Beats. You guys gonna get a shout? I don't have any. My
Shout outs and beats.
shout outs and Beats, baby. Some more vegetables.
Mm.
Okay.
No, I don't. My only shout out was Game of Zones this week. So
Woo. Game zone.
huge shout out to the just unanimous praise. It's just a hard day for me when the Game of Zones comes out and I got to go to Reddit, I got to go to Twitter, I got to read the YouTube comments, and they're all telling me how great it is. It's just tough. That's just my burden, my cross.
Wait, real quick. You weren't on the live stream that the creators did, right? Did you have to go to that?
yeah.
No, they did some
Adam
live
and
stream.
Craig. Oh, they did. The multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I saw. I watched a few. I don't remember. Were
Yeah,
you,
there were a bunch. There were a
like,
bunch.
busy or something?
They
I don't know.
did 4 live streams for the 4.
Wow.
I think the 4 previous seasons.
Are they doing a 5th that you'll be in? Is that?
It's up in the air, John.
It's up in the air. Okay. Okay, just checking.
My agent is talking to their agent.
Okay. Because I heard Randall Park's going to be on the 5th one. Is that true?
Could be.
I heard they signed up.
Was this an audition? That last segment, was that an audition to be on the next one, or because
The next game is this is it.
yeah,
This is it.
'cause,
Game of Zone's over.
No. I'm talking about you being on the next live stream. Was that an audition?
They're not going to have me.
I-
They're not
I
going to
hope it
have me
wasn't.
on the live stream. I mean, to be honest, there are people way more important than me. You know, there's like a producer, there's the animators,
No.
artists.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I mean, they should have those people, the real heroes. You know. No, I did watch
Sorry, the doctors and the nurses.
the. I did watch all of the live streams, and I will say, so I think it's the second live stream, about an hour and 5 minutes in, I get a shout out. So, you know, watch for that. Just watch for that. Just an hour and 5 minutes in, you know.
That's weird you remembered that.
Yeah. Is it? Do you think it's weird?
It's kind of weird.
All right.
Shout out to ChicagoNow.com. Apparently, they think I had one of the 20 best Jerry Krause memes of the Last Dance Twitter Twitterverse.
Little meme boy. Little meme boy.
Shouts to me. Shouts to me for making a great Jerry Krause meme. So
nice.
Yeah, I rule. I guess I rule. Unless you go back and re-listen to the previous segment, and then I really don't.
You know, I think if you show that Chicago.com story to your wife, it's like the female version of Belucci. So should try that out.
I showed her the tweet. I showed her the tweet last night, and she was like, "Okay."
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, damn.
Okay.
Harsh. You know, you can make the whole world laugh, but if you can't make your wife laugh, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
You're in trouble.
Trust me. I experienced that with every new Game of Zones episode release, where everyone loves it. My wife watches it. Is this supposed to be funny? Like, is this
like a drama? Is this a drama?
I don't understand anything that's happening here.
So it's like Game of Thrones, or
yeah. She knows. She watched Game of Thrones too. That's what's sad.
Ooh. Shout out a FX show called Dave.
Oh, I heard it's good.
I gotta watch. I love Little Dicky.
I heard it's good.
So good. It is. It's
in the
amazing.
queue.
It is like he writes it. He acts in it. I think he writes maybe 3 of the 10 episodes or something. The season just wrapped. It's incredible. You really see how much talent he is. The supporting cast, Gator is like the funniest dude out there. And it is a real nice look into, I think, his life becoming a rapper. This is a Little Dicky. But at times it gets really serious and good, like just good filmmaking, just like straight up like, wow, this is a beautiful episode. But constantly funny in like that, like grossed out, like they go deep. Like they'll show you the baby monitor. Like it is, there's one episode that is like the wildest shit I've ever seen on TV. And it's amazing. But check out Dave on FX. So good.
Well, but before that, dude, before you check that out, you got to watch all 4 seasons of Uhtred, Son of Uhtred on Netflix, dude. Uhtred's finish up the 4th season of Uhtred, Son of Uhtred, man. Come on.
You banged that out quick. You got that.
Hell yeah, dude. 2 episodes a night. That's like a good 5 nights. That was on a high. 5 nights of Uhtred, Son of Uhtred. You know what he's up to. You know, it's back in the 8th century. The Danes attacking England. Only Uhtred, Son of Uhtred could stop them. Every season's exactly the same, but it's so dope. Because it's the Danes going to get him this time? Nope. Uhtred the Dane Slayer. They don't call him a Dane Slayer for no reason, all right? So...
No, it's not Copenhagen. It's Nopenhagen, dog.
Nopenhagen is Nopenhagen. When Uhtred rolling through, forget about it, Danes.
We need to get a Danish professor, history professor, to watch this show and like reveal.
It's English history. It's English history. My wife got mad at me because I read Wikipedia, so I know spoilers. Like, I know what character like becomes.
Does Uhtred die? Is he alive still?
Uhtred's a fictional character, but all the other people are real. Okay. And there was like a storyline because the king who wrote the history got mad at Uhtred, so he wrote him out of the history books. That's why he doesn't exist. Okay. So.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Wow, don't fuck with King Alfred. All right.
Okay. All right. I won't. I definitely won't.
All right. That's all I gotta say.
It's fair.
That's all I gotta say. Check it out. Hey, it's deep in the quarantine, baby. Last Kingdom. Fire it up, Dave. Come on. You and your wife.
I will. I'm gonna watch Dave first, but no,
Okay.
I'll probably
watch
fire it up.
Dave. Watch Dave.
I did just finish Get Shorty, which I really enjoyed. So
Get Shorty, the movie?
oh, the TV show with
It's-
Chris O'Dowd. It's
Oh yeah, they
it-
made a show. I forgot about that.
it's it was really good. It was great. It was great. It's kind of like Breaking Bad meets like Hollywood. It's
That's right.
very well done.
I
Very
never
well done.
heard that show was good. So
My buddy Paul was like hounding our friend text thread to like watch it. He was like,
Can you
guys
watch it?
Still haven't watched it. You can watch the first season on Netflix, but I have Apple TV, so
Okay.
it's you
All
can
right.
watch all
All
3
right.
seasons on Apple Plus.
I-
But
I'm running out.
but the
I'm running
first-
out of stuff to watch. So
First season is on Netflix. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, boys.
Well,
I think
boys,
that's it. 200 episodes.
200 in the
we
book.
did it.
We did
Did
it.
it.
We did it.
Until next time, keep hooping.
Keep
Keep pooping.
pooping.